doing fight training for a young actor, really cool guy. He was seriously hurt in the last show, and
Maze Runner.
Yeah, Maze Runner 3, and he's getting, he's coming back. He's training very hard, and he's going to be the new Mitch Rapp character, which is, it's kind of cool. It's another kind of CIA operative. For me personally, I wanted to do it. He's a really good kid, and the challenges that he has to go through in terms of the whole facial reconstruction and getting in shape and having the limitations, because it's still very raw in terms of physically. There's still things that he's still recovering from physically in terms of where blood pressure and heart rate, we have to be careful because of the reconstruction. But he's doing really well. And also too, that if in doing this particular project, I go back to London, which is not far from Ireland, so I can hang out with my daughters there. Tim and I have been working now for the guts of 4 or 5 years. Tim is probably the hardest working person that I've ever had the pleasure of guiding or training together with. And literally, I have to actually tell him, you can't train this hard. I gotta rein him back. And his work ethic, if it's anything to go by, in how he trains himself physically and how he throws himself into the exercises. I'll paraphrase or mimic him. He goes, "Don't worry about the horse. Just just load up the cart. Don't worry about the horse." And I'm kind of like, but I have to worry, because you can't. You gotta be able to get enough rest, and my training comes from what I do for myself in terms of what satisfies my martial arts instinct, and just the ability to move well and to move with agility and fluidity. And so that all ties into kind of being, first and foremost, as a fighter or martial artist, that's very, it services that tool, but it also services probably most athletes. And there's hopefully a way of moving that is graceful. And the physical results, the physical look, and I told him that, is just the aesthetics is just a byproduct of the training. The creative process that he is, I mean, there's an aspect where he's, when he's off the set and being gregarious and being, taking care of people, like, going to a restaurant, going for food, he's very much a great host. What I found is on the set, he's very serious and very much focused on what needs to be done. He doesn't waste a lot of time. And creatively, it showed. At that point in time when I was working with him, I talked, and he goes, "Yeah, I've been in the business for over 30-something years." And it showed, because even in the adjustment of the fight choreography, and there's a really lovely piece that he might have, but then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, producer, director, they come in and go, "Look, we don't have enough time to do this." He goes, "Okay," and then changed it immediately, and adjusted it.
That's a pro.
And that's a pro. And still, probably being able to say, "Okay, I got to give this one up here, but later on, if I really need to have something I want to do in terms of action-wise, he'll put it into another piece later." And that's being very professional and being very agile, both in mind and feet.
And artistic too.
Yes.
Yeah.